So you really would not just see that as, I'm sure that the guy, the CEO was making millions of dollars a
Yeah.
year. I'm sure of
Hmm.
that. You wouldn't look at it as, hey, I worked hard and I worked my way up, and this is a great job at a great company, and I'm making millions of dollars a year. For you, it would be something more. This is a
Yeah.
crooked system, and I just wouldn't want to take one dime from it.
Well, it couldn't be a great company or a great organization if it's crooked at the same time. You know, the bad's always that will weigh more on my conscience than anything else. I couldn't stand for it. I would not want my face attached to it, especially when you got families who can't simply afford to have certain health care services or whatnot. You know, if you need to be seen, you should be taken care of. You got countries out here who have universal health care. You got the government that funds everything. They don't have to come out of pocket for it in other countries. And we're supposed to be the greatest and best one in the whole wide world. But then you got other countries that don't have to spend a dime on health care. They're taken
Yeah,
care of.
yeah.
You got countries out here who don't have all the extra crap and additives and GMO and all this stuff inside their food, and it's banned. And you can't find anything, a child's drink or a drink or some cereal or something like that without, what is it, Red 40 in it? All this nasty chemicals and stuff that I can go pick up off the shelf at Home Depot in a chemical section. And it's also on the back of my ingredients for food I'm about to eat. No, I don't. So morally, I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand for that. No. People, I think there's a lot of people in America that need health care or need to be seen. But what is health care nowadays? You know, are we really taking care of your health, or are we just looking for a paycheck? You know, I'll put you on these drugs to get you on these other drugs. And when you come off these drugs, you're going to need these drugs to counteract the other thing. And I'm going to keep you coming back. It's the greatest drug dealer plug of all time. They're the greatest of all time. It's not about taking care of you. It's about keeping you coming back to the plug. That's what healthcare is. That's what a lot of government is, just to keep you coming back. We don't want you to have too much, but we just want you to keep you in a spot to where you have enough to where you have to keep coming back, dependent on us. It's a pimp.
Damn. And that is the business model.
That's the business model. The greatest country in the world, their business model, from the government to healthcare to everything, damn near, is based off of the mindset and business model of a pimp and a drug dealer and the mafia. We built this, it's run off of a system and ideology that when it's Joe Schmo doing it down the street, he's a criminal. But when he lives up in the Capitol building, he's a politician.
Woo!
That's how
Damn, Nick, you preaching today.
It's not Sunday yet, or Saturday. But yeah, we're getting there. It's not even preaching, it's just facts.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, it's just facts. I think a lot of people think about this stuff. They see it, but just don't say it. I think some people don't say it and get out there and say it because they're scared they might get the Yeshua treatment, the Jesus treatment.
Mm-hmm.
You start talking too much, and then you know what happens after that. So I think a lot of people don't speak the truth in that aspect because of that. You know, everybody who's tried to go up against the system has died. You know, from all the black messiahs back in the day, from the leader of the Black Panther Party, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey. I mean, it's the list goes on and on and on. You don't stand up against the system. You can't buck it.
Well, this guy, Luigi, he damn sure has stood up against the system, and he may die in prison.
More than likely, yeah.
More than likely. I think that's a safe thing to say. I mean, this guy comes from wealth, valedictorian of his class.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is not, just a regular person. This guy's wealthy. Family is wealthy.
He was fed up. He was fed up. He was fed up. Yeah. Those are the big, I guess, some of the most fearful people is a man who's fed up. Those are some scary individuals. When you're fed up at your wit's end, And I don't know his whole story. Like, was he somebody in his family, they needed health care or something?
As far as they know right now, no. And that's what makes this story even more compelling, because it's one thing if, I'm sure, again, he comes from wealth. I'm sure his family can afford the best health care. But the reason that he has so many people looking at him as their personal champion because he stuck it to the man is because this is what everyday folks who don't have a lot of money go through.
So he was the Joker.
You saw our pain.
Yeah.
You saw the fact that my child was just diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, and I can do nothing about it except hear the doctors give me the runaround. You saw the fact that my dad, was just diagnosed with whatever it might be. And we are literally losing everything trying to keep up with these bills, these payments.
Crazy.
And if not, they won't treat them. That's why this young man is getting so much support.
Yeah, I can see why. And Robin Hood, that's why the people loved Robin Hood too. He stole from the rich and gave to the poor. People resonate with that. He's the average, at that moment, regardless of all the wealth that he may have had or had, he resonated with the average person, living in America. And that sent the message. It wasn't like blowing yourself up inside of a Cybertruck message and talking about UAPs, he sent it to, we can all, at some point, I'm sure most of us can relate to the healthcare system and how much of a debacle that could be. I use the VA, and like, you want to talk about ass? Go to the VA. Go to the VA health system. Navigate that maze. It's like, yeah. That's an ass of a system that should be completely reformed.
Really?
100%. I mean, and they're slowly, supposedly, allegedly, trying to make things better. But you can go back a couple of years, a few months, and there's guys who are having a hard time and offing themselves, deleting themselves, removing themselves from this earth because of just crazy treatment. I got stories for days from just me having gotten out and trying to get help and seek help for all types of things, from mental health to you name it. So I got a laundry list of stories of how the VA healthcare system is a complete mess. I don't know how anybody who's 18, 19, 20-something years old who gets out the military, I don't understand. I understand because I've been there, but it's a shout out to them who have to navigate that atrocious system called healthcare, sponsored by Department of Veterans or the Veterans Administration. It's they don't care about nothing. If you think your doctor doesn't care about you and your health, go to the VA. You got 15 minutes, 30 minutes, that's all I got, get out. Here's a bag of some drugs, have it, be on your way. And when you get off these drugs, then you're really gonna be loopy and messed up, then you gotta get on these drugs. But I'll see you again in 6 months. Or you wanna schedule something? It's about 8 months away. But I'm hurt right now. I'll see you in 6 months. Yeah.
Damn. Vlad sat down with D.L. Hughley, and D.L. and he spoke about this very subject, about the assassination, and we'll just call it what it is, of the CEO of UnitedHealthcare. And D.L. Hughley said something that was profound. He said, karma is a pre-existing condition.
All you saw, if you watch any of the newspapers, any of the stories, it was about how Americans were basically saying, good. I guess now we know karma is a pre-existing condition.
Karma is a pre-existing
This dude's
condition.
job...
I know you said this on stage.
Yeah, this dude's job was to delay, deny, delay, and defend.
Like, how real is that? Is this just a case of chickens coming home to roost? Is this just karma coming back?
Could be not the great awakening, but an awakening from, you ever look back at those stories? Let's say, an example, I'm going to use the Holocaust, whatever. Like, when you have more of one demographic, like, why didn't they just rise up against there was more of them than there were X, Y, and Z. I don't know. Stories like that. I think we're stronger as a people together. And I just don't think that we need a lot of the BS, bureaucratic stuff that goes on in this country. I think most of it's meant for us to just be at a certain level, all around the board. I don't think the system is meant for anyone to really thrive. And you can pitch the whole like, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps and work harder, cliche. But for some people in certain circumstances, it's impossible to do that, and it's all designed, or it's based on a system that the powers that be institute. And there's no way of escaping that. Not everybody can, make it out of that system. And like you said, you get pissed off at the system every once in a while when you go to get health care for your child who came down with the rare form of whatever, and he can't get help, then it hurts the average day person. If it happened to my son, I'd be like John Q, in a heartbeat.
No, it does hurt, and it hurts even more because we know it's possible.
Yeah.
We know it is possible to have true universal health care.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying all of this money into the government. You're watching our government fund wars that is somewhere on the other side of the planet, giving billions of dollars every, what seems to be quarter.
Right.
And you have countries where healthcare is taken care of.
Yep.
And it's not like we're not paying taxes.
And education,
it's not like
too.
You don't have the blueprint. It's one thing if there was no blueprint.
Yeah, yeah.
But you go to places like Canada, and I believe that they have, healthcare is taken care of in Canada. There's a blueprint. There's a way to do this.
Yeah.
And us being the richest country on planet Earth, we just can't seem to figure this thing out. But more important, you're watching people get rich. These pharmaceutical companies and the system itself make money hand over fist for the very reason that you just spoke about, because the business model is to keep you coming back.
Mm-hmm.
The business model is to have you pay, but when you need us, the deductible is so high, you got to shell out more money before we can even help you.
Yeah. Where does the money go? Where does the money go? Where does it go? Like, that's my question. I'm genuinely asking, like, where does it go? Where does all of this money go?
Yeah, I think we'd all like to know that answer to that. You know something, Nick, before I lose my train of thought, and this is it's on topic, but it's off topic. The NYPD, New York's finest, they seem to do a hell of a job. They had a whole lot of information on this shooter very, very quick.
Right.
Yeah, right. Like they could track his movements coming in. I believe he came in from Pennsylvania. They knew what time he got off the bus. They knew where he was staying. Like literally damn near in 24 hours.
Yeah.
They were piecing this thing together in a way that I've almost never seen. Is this kudos to the NYPD, or do they just pick and choose who they want to put their time and resources into? Because if Ray from up the block gets killed on 125th Street, the killer seems to never get found.
Yep.
If a rapper seems to get gunned down, the killer just seems to never get found.
Yep.
So do we applaud them for this? Or is it just a showing of, yo, you know what? We go after, and this is bigger than the NYPD. This is just America. we put resources into the cases into the victims
That make the headlines.
that we feel make the headlines and matter.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what it is, man. And then the other half of the time, he was on our radar. Like, yeah, we knew this guy.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah. But a $600 Venmo payment, they'll find you.
That's right.